Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a Corgi Juniors Formula 5000 racing car. I only have a couple of Corgi Juniors models, and this is the first of these that I've seen. It's from 1973, so it's 48 years old and showing its age. It's pretty basic. I think a racing stripe and a number 4 have been completely rubbed off, so I'll do a cleanup and a few mods on this one to make it into a great toy that will definitely live to race again. If you like this kind of video, I invite you to give it a thumbs up and think about becoming a new subscriber to my channel. It's absolutely free. I also invite you to leave a respectful comment below and tell me what you think of this, and make sure to include where you're watching from. The little race man comes apart with the rest of the pieces of the Corgi Juniors. It's a metal base, but a plastic cockpit and engine, all a la gray color, and it's an all die-cast body. I think it's a good practice to keep all the parts in one bin for safekeeping. Only the die-cast body goes into the paint stripping gel today. The plastic pits never do, of course. And I'll leave that overnight just so the stripping gel can do its work. I'm wearing a mask whenever I do this. There are some toxic fumes involved, and safety comes first in my hobby room. And today the black paint is putting up no fight at all. Today's shout out goes to another YouTube site on the theme of racing, Toon Tracks Racing, and I want you especially to check out that first video. Zender Fact 4 is an undefeated car, and it's going up against the Ice Wolf, which is a custom-made car by Vic Norman out of Scotland. Make sure to get all the racing action at Toon Tracks, and the link is in the description so you can find it easily. Tell him Andrew sent you by for the visit, okay? Corgi Toys was launched in 1956 as a new range of die-cast toy model cars by Mettoy Playcraft Limited, the toy car company that was founded in 1936. And these new toy cars were soon a huge hit because at the time, they were the only toy cars on the market that included transparent plastic windows, and they soon became known as the ones with the windows. This one is all plastic and it's got an opaque window, but I'm going to try to dress up the colors with a primer and a brilliant white base coat because I'm going to mask off a racing stripe and an oval for a number on that long front nose. This is my first use of Createx paints. This one is called Fluorescent Violet, and the color of this is going to play tricks on your eyes during this video. It comes out here under these lights in my paint booth looking violet to pinkish, and that might change. Don't worry about a little bit of bleed through there because that white stripe is not going to show. It's just to be a white base beneath the decal that I'm going to use. And while the main body is drying up, I do some detail work with a big intensity marker to highlight the exhaust pipes on the bottom in a silver color. There's not a lot of detail down here to work on. And then I'm going to use, this is called yellow gold, just to highlight this section in the middle. And a little bit of contrast. If anyone ever flips this over to see the underside, it will look like that. And I put my newly rebranded Maple Leaf Customs logo on there. There's lots of room for that to stand out. Remember, the cockpit and windshield is simply plastic, and I gave it a little light sanding to take off any burrs and edges, and I'm using a chrome spray here, which I find more effective than the Molotov pen, especially over a large area, so there's no brush strokes showing. The decal job is a simple racing stripe and custom build number 111 on the nose. And I seal that down with some decal sole. That was pretty easy. Now I did away with the original Corgi Junior wheels and I mocked up a set of F1 racing slicks in my 3D printer. They came out looking like this, and I'm very happy with this particular batch for the accuracy. But of course the resin needs to be painted, so I'm using chrome silver and flat black here. I love the shape and the depth of these. They're looking great. And here's a little tip. When you're sizing wheels, the originals were 10 and 12, and you'll see now my fronts are 11 millimeters, and the backs, I beefed them up just a little bit to 13. And they're also slightly wider than the originals. So get yourself one of these little plastic gauges to size your tires. Cockpit engine simply presses back into place, and the racing driver, who got painted up in matching yellow to the stripe, sits in, as do the 3D printed wheels. I had to make my own axles to put them in, and the detailed base clicks back on, but these posts were too small to drill, so what I'm going to do is glue them, and simply I've taken the threads off of these machine screws, and I'm just going to use the head, which gives the super glue a little bit more something to hold on to, and it's just glued back into place. But it's a super strong bond, and there's no fear at all of this coming back apart. And just the head of the screw under the nose cone. Looks like that. Let's have a closer look at the finished job. The paint is glistening in the lights. The front decal looks great now that there's 2 coats of clear on there. You'll see some black details on the front fins and the air vents, as well as on the back, just to break up the chrome pattern. I do like those 3D printed tires. The chassis detail is looking fine. It's a roller. I'm particular about that with my cars. You'll see it shoot off, zoom into the sunset. What a transformation from what I started with a couple days before. It looked like this, like the dog chewed on it, and now it's looking refreshed and clean and ready to race again. And here's where the lighting is going to play a trick on your eyes. Look at the color, absolutely looks dark purple here. Trust me, I didn't repaint it. That's just lights and shadows and no smoke or mirrors involved. And it looks purple in the diorama too. But a really super final result. I'm pleased with that. And so this proudly goes into a blister pack, and it will be headed for my local thrift shop as a free gift for a little boy or girl, just like all my cars do. I want to say thanks for visiting today, and I welcome you back anytime and often. It's coffee time.